Yes. I was actually here a minute early and ran into technical difficulties right off the bat, as I mentioned earlier. The majority of technical situations would rightly be called technician difficulties, meaning me. We're waiting for Kat. This is Thursday. Everything, I hope everything is up and running okay. That we're not, I think I'm live, right? Am I live? Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? Anyway, Thursday, we're waiting for Kat. And then we are going to, as the title says, dive in to A Course in Miracles and talk about what there is to talk about. Kat and I decided we're going to, we're going to wing it. Going to see what comes up. Although, in this space, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a few things came to me that I thought I'd like to talk about. So we'll see. There she is. Hey, Betty. Thanks for coming in. Hey, Kat.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Anna.
Why do you seem farther away today?
Am I?
I think so. You're in a different spot, right?
I needed to give a pathway so I can escape if I need to.
Escape from me?
From whatever.
Well, I'm going to hold you to a promise made to you. I'm going to kick you out of here in an hour.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's the least I can do for you, Kat.
Mhm.
Banish you from my live stream. Hey, Anna. So I was mentioning that you and I decided to wing it tonight.
Yeah.
But since that conversation, a few things have come to mind for me. Do you have lesson 185? And I'll read it. But the thing that came to mind was a little memo that was sent to me. The only true prayer that we need. And it mentioned, a lot of the Christian prayers, the Hail Mary, Our Father, and that, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words, a complete prayer, and promises everything. And lesson 185 is, I want the peace of God. What else would we need if we had that? If we think about what are some of the things that we pray for?
Peace.
Right.
See things differently.
And even if we're praying for, if we have a sense of lack, if we're praying for finances, if we're praying for love, if we're praying for, relationship, if we're praying for any material thing, all of that is just symbol for the peace of God, or whatever word besides God you would like to use. Because obviously, if we're distressed about finances, we're not at peace. If we're distressed about a relationship, we're not at peace. So if we pray for the peace of God, that means everything that is disturbing us would be taken care of. A powerful prayer.
Yeah.
I'm going to read a little bit from the lesson. It's a bit of a long one, and then I'll stop a little bit here and there, and anything you want to add to it, just let me know.
Okay.
So
Abigail.
I want the peace. Hey, Abigail.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'll read it. Let's end real quick. I see that we had some people show up. Abigail says, "Love you, Kat." Hey, Danny. Our friend Betty is here. Hey, Tim. Tim, nice to see you. Hasador, probably mispronounced that. Hey, Sniper. Oh, and by the way, if you guys want to ask any questions, feel free. So I want the peace of God. To say these words is nothing, but to mean these words is everything. If you could but mean them for just an instant, there would be no further sorrow possible for you in any form, in any place or time. Heaven would be completely given back in full awareness, memory of God entirely restored, the resurrection of all creation fully recognized. No one can mean those words and not be healed. I love a couple of things there. One of the things that we were talking about, further sorrow would not be possible, just because it covers everything. Um, but the one thing that really resonated, heaven would be completely given back in full awareness, implying that heaven isn't some faraway destination that we achieve if we do all the right things, say all the right things, um, and petition the right God. That um, heaven would be completely given back in full awareness, which means right here and right now. So the prayer says, he wants the peace of God, and it is given to him. For that is all he wants, and that is all he will receive. Many have said these words, but few indeed have meant them. You have but to look upon the world you see around you to be sure how very few they are. The world would be completely changed should any two agree these words express the only thing they want. Two minds with one intent become so strong that what they will become the will of God. For minds can only join in truth. Um, I love, well, I love everything about this. I'm glad it popped up. But I like he cannot play with dreams, nor think he himself a dream, if he want the peace of God. Meaning that we see through the dream quality of the world and all the things. One of my favorite things to mention, probably incessantly, is the chasing after shiny objects. Uh, you were trying so hard to hold back that smile, Kat. I actually, it almost looked like it pained you to hold back that smile. Um, but if we really meant that we wanted the peace of God, would we chase after any shiny thing if it wasn't guaranteed to bring us the peace of God? If that's all we wanted, if we really, really wanted it, and we said that prayer with full sincerity, um, is it worth your time to chase something that doesn't bring you the peace of God?
Mm.
I am really proud that you didn't just burst out laughing entirely.
No.
um, I think that also sums up a topic that you and I have been talking about today: practice. What if that was our only practice, saying that prayer? I want the peace of God. Because
Mm.
I guarantee you there'll be some time tomorrow for me, probably for you, probably for everyone in the chat. Hey, Stitch. Hi, Jessica. Um, that we will find ourselves in need of the peace of God.
Right.
There's our practice. Because to find the peace of God means that um, you can't just look at the chaos around you. You need to see through it. Um,
Do you feel like you're in a good place to stop and let's do breath work for Jessica?
yes,
Okay.
always. Jessica, you all set? Kat, what do you think about the 4-7-8 breath?
I think it's awesome. Let's do it.
Okay. You gonna join in?
Hmm.
All right. So for those who wish, hey Marnie, for those who wish to join in, go ahead and close your eyes. And let's start with a sigh. Let's start with a deep breath in through the nose and sigh with a whoosh through the mouth. Let your shoulders drop and your hands relax. Let anything that you are holding tight, your jaw, your neck, your temples, relax with the outgoing breath. Let's not worry about the incoming breath right now. Just notice that outgoing breath. And that every single outgoing breath, you're relaxed, released, and ready. I'm going to count 3 so that on our third, we begin our breath work. We're going to do 4-7-8, meaning we breathe in for 4, we hold for 7, and then with pursed lips and the tongue on the roof of the mouth behind the front teeth, we whoosh, a gentle whoosh. 1, 2, and 3. Breathing in for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoosh for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoosh for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale with a whoosh for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let the breath go. Keep your eyes closed for just a few minutes longer. Put a very light attention on the heart space, center of the chest. And as you breathe in, just notice a very faint, small ball of light. And on the in-breath, notice that the light expands, brightens. This light emanating from the heart center, the light of love. And that wherever this light expands towards is instantly seen in the light of awareness, in the light of forgiveness, and absolute love. Each breath, The light expands, and on every out breath, we're sending this love, this light out into the world, and specifically whoever we would like to. Drawing the breath in, expanding the light, and offering it to the world. You can let that light go, knowing that it's always present, always ready, always available. You can cultivate it through the day, and you can extend it to others. For indeed, that might be our one purpose here. And when you're ready, whenever you're ready, open your eyes, and I'll see you in the chat.
That was good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope it was good for everyone too. Hey, Carl. Carl says, "So Batman." Hey, Dr. Alice. Dr. Alice Africa is here. I wanted to tie that little light meditation after we were nice and relaxed with what we were talking about with practice. The essence of the salutation Namaste is the divinity or the light within me recognizes and salutes the divinity or the light within you. What a little gift that we could give everyone. And as we know, not just through the Course, but through every spiritual tradition, what we give, we receive. As you give that light, you're receiving light. As you offer forgiveness, you're forgiven. Hey, Lee. Lee is here.
Hi, Lee.
Dr. Alice says, "Hey, Eric. Nice to see you, Dr. Alice." Jessica says, "That was really good. Thank you, Eric." You're welcome, Jessica. And more, I'm going to enjoy the guided meditations that we do.
Yeah.
I
I am definitely finding it harder to come out of it when you add in the meditations. I don't want to. I feel so good.
Right. And we can always extend them longer, but because I don't know how many people participate, um, the overall chat, they might be, come on, get it over with.
Right.
Get that word out. I know what you're going to say. You're going to, you start with that. Is it going to say light? Is it going to say love? What's it going to be? Hey, Lee. Danny says hi.
Jessica says the same.
Oh, didn't want
She
it to
didn't
end.
want it to end. Yeah.
Anytime anyone wants private breathwork and meditation, I'm happy to do so. And really, again, mentioning we receive what we give. So I enjoy it, and I get so much out of it.
Yogi, you said something to me this week. We were talking about meditation and how sometimes I think it's very typical to say, I don't have time. But I was telling you how when I make the time, it seems like no time at all has passed, and my time to finish what I need to do is it's expanded. And you said something about stretching time.
Right.
Do you care to talk about that more?
Yes. Let's see if I can.
Okay.
Actually, well, as we know, time is not really a thing.
Right.
And that's easy to say when you are unemployed, your full-time gig is sitting and talking on YouTube. It's easy to say, time is a made-up social construct. It's meaningless because I got no place to be. I don't have a boss that's going to say, "Hey, you're 15 minutes past the imaginary time you were supposed to imaginary be here." Um, so when we meditate, we literally are transcending the conceptual time. We've all had an experience when we were looking forward to something exciting or fun to happen, and it just seemed to take forever to get here, or dreading something, and it's upon us in an instant. Uh,
Mm,
Meditation is the same thing. Meditation gives us a tool of expanding the concept of time. We become more spacious innerly. And as we are more inwardly spacious, the world reflects that. We're unhurried. So we go through life with this sense of there's nothing but time
mm.
for everything. I find, that the Zen saying that if you are busy to meditate for, I told you this the other day, if you're too busy to meditate for 10 minutes, then you need to meditate for 20. If you're too busy to meditate for 20, you need to do it for half an hour. Um, and it really is the case. Because you become more productive, um, the time that you recognize is used more constructively. Um, I would love to teach everyone, hey, Billy Bob, meditation, because and breath work, specifically breath work before you meditate, to supercharging it. Did that address?
I think so. I think it's one of those things, it's more experienced than explained, maybe?
Right. Well, with that being the case, and because meditation is a newer practice for you,
Right.
or at least primordial sound meditation,
Mhm.
can you could you say something about your own without going into like great detail, but your own experience of has meditation made you feel more spacious?
Yeah, I would say yeah, yeah,
What about like do you feel less rushed?
yes. Yeah, if I have half an hour before I have to leave for work and I sit down and even just try 10 minutes, it's like time has opened up and I have so much more time to get everything done, but maybe it is just because I'm so calm and focused at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
And as we both know from practicing the course, the um, outer reflects is a reflection from the inner.
Mm,
So as um, you know how it is when you have a really busy mind and you're rushed,
yeah.
and the world reflects that. Traffic reflects that. Um,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But why am I not getting a single green light? Why is every light yellow on the verge of red?
Yep.
And how many yellow lights can I pass through before I actually have to admit it was red? It was red all along. I just imagined that it was yellow. Um, but when we, hey Chris, but when we recognize our own spacious nature, when we see the space between the thoughts, and when we're sitting in meditation and we see when we have a thought, and then it seems like forever until that next thought floats by. Now, this is the perfect scenario for meditation. It's not always like that. Sometimes it's thought. Oh, yeah, mantra, thought. Um, and as long as we keep going back to the mantra, um, we will start to settle. There's no bad meditation uh, ever. However, there is bad judgment of a meditation,
Mm,
and that's all the difference in the world. So you will always benefit, and you will always slip into the gap. And the gap is that space between. If you don't mind me saying, I'd introduce the four things that can happen in
sure.
meditation. You can be having regular, everyday thoughts, mundane thoughts, thoughts about your job, thoughts about your family, thoughts about whatever, TV show. You could be thinking the mantra. you can fall asleep. Have you fallen asleep yet?
Oh, yeah.
Have you? But it's a good sleep usually, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Um, and I've fallen asleep and I've woken up with a mantra right there. And it's like perfect. It's like I'm floating right into that mantra.
Mhm.
Um, and you can slip into the gap. The gap is the space or the apparent space between every thought. It is um, always there. In fact, there is nothing but the gap. Everything else is an appearance within that spaciousness. If any of those four things happen, and that's the only four things that can happen, it's a successful meditation. The key is not to judge. I should have done this. I wish it was like this. Take the experience for what it is. If you're having a ton of thoughts, you're releasing stress and tension. That's what those thoughts are. So it's
Mm.
invaluable to have those thoughts. If you fall asleep, it's because you needed the sleep, and it's a really good sleep because you entered it during a meditative state. Um, if you're thinking the mantra, exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And if you slip into the gap, uh, you've received a blessing. So here's the key with meditating: relax, you're doing it right.
That's helpful.
It is. Hey,
Mhm.
how has meditation, if it has, um, helped your practice with the course?
Well, it is a lot of the practice of the course.
Um, are you able to practice forgiveness when you think you should be meditating better? Do you ever think you should be meditating better?
Of course.
Right. Me too. And I've been doing it forever. Um, we did say hi to Chris, right?
Yes.
Nature's Dog Run. Awesome. Do not want to forget our friend Chris.
And
Um,
skits. Hi, skits.
and Skits, hey Skits. Oh, Lee had a question. Sorry, Lee. Would there be a set day for the meditations? I'd be interested in a new beginning, way to refine myself. Um, with me teaching meditation, we could pick a time that works for both of us. Um, for meditating together, we can pick a time that works for both of us. Um, and I would be up for doing uh, a short live stream of just breath work and meditation, and then we'd end it. If anyone would be interested in that, it would be anywhere from depending on what time we had and what people wanted, a 5 to 20 minute live stream. Hey, Stella.
Carl. Hi, Carl. I love you.
Our friend Carl is here. Hey, Carl.
Yes.
Carl says hi, Yogi. Hey, Carl. Thanks for being here. Very much appreciate that. Um, Jessica says, well, this has been a day. Nurse says hi to Carl. Skit says, I still get scared about the loneliness of meditation. Although it is a connectiveness, I still feel scared, like I will isolate more if I become comfortable with it. Here's the wonderful thing about meditation is uh, you can't be alone when you're doing it. You realize that interconnectiveness. Um, the the Buddhist interdependence have a wonderful, wonderful phrase. Interdependence, that we are all dependent on everything else, literally everything else. Nothing can be nothing can be separate from the whole, otherwise it wouldn't be whole. I was almost going to have you quote Ramana Maharshi, but I decided not to. Hey, Debs. Deb says, listening while driving home from acupuncture, it rocked. Oh, I'm glad. Deb's got acupuncture today.
Oh, nice.
Have you ever done that?
No.
Nope. I have a little bit once was going to do a judo tournament, and I hurt my back, and I wanted to get it set up. Tim, thanks for being here. Carl says YouTube is having problems tonight. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. It's good. Says, I mean, I'll become antisocial. If I use it as a space of comfort, maybe I'll stop engaging with people as much. It'll be the exact opposite. You will break open entirely and find that all you have is love to give away, space to give away. You become so all encompassing. What have your experiences been, Kat?
Yeah, it's changed my life. I'm a totally different person.
Wow, makes me think I should have charged you. But man, Kat, teaching you meditation was exactly what I want to do. So I'd like everyone that I truly. So, Skits, you've heard me talk, and I know, Kat, you've heard me several times that uh, when my father passed away, and I didn't know what to do, and I was asking myself, what does a caregiver do when they lose the one they're supposed to be caring for? And the answer came very powerfully: continue being a caregiver. And the way for me to do that was to teach meditation and breath work, because it's the things that help me become an effective caregiver. Carl says, I'm not family. Carl, I'd love to think of you as family. I'd love to
Yeah,
think of
me too.
everyone here as my family. And Carl, that certainly includes you. In some ways, even more so, because um, because you don't consider yourself part of a family. Just makes me want to include you even more.
Hmm.
Tim says, yes, you are, Carl. He says, I can't live without that space of breathing meditation. It's an ingrained aspect um, of my life, of my daily life. Yeah, it's good. I understand your definitely understand what you mean, but I can assure you it would be completely the opposite. And the fact that you have that fear is honestly that little ego resistant, that little resistance that keep you from embracing a fully healing path. Jessica says, "Do you like the birds, Eric? Uh, which birds, Jessica? Hey, RW. That's the best I can do with that name. Can you do better, Cat?
I no. Mm-mm.
I'm actually sort of proud of myself for thinking RW instead of stumbling through it. RW says, "Hi, I need your help fast. I'm hungry. I want your opinion. Should I go for a cheeseburger or Alfredo pasta? I will go for what you like. Alfredo pasta. Could that be vegan?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Are
I
you?
don't know
Oh,
what.
are you asking me? I don't know.
No. Yeah, I don't know really what Alfredo pasta is. If you're really hungry, it's a tough thing to lay on a vegan. Um, but I think if you're really hungry, you're going to be more satisfied with a cheeseburger than pasta. I would think.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like I'd let every cow in the world down with that comment.
Oh
But
no.
all of them are looking at me like, oh man. Skit says burger too. Or says fine skitosis, good choice. Thank you, Dolly. Jessica says that happened right after I got off your live. Oh, I haven't seen the short yet, Jessica. I will look. Yep. Have you seen it?
That much. I dropped in to see Carl.
Jessica, I will be on my way over. I'm bringing your channel up now. And actually, I'll take a look at it now, if you don't mind, Kat.
Sure.
Birds, just because. Oh, there we go. I was there, and I did see it. You know what? I got to apologize. I thought that was Michael Burkeen. Because I was on my phone, and I can't see the phone. The print's not huge. I apologize. Yes, I did. Buzzards. I need to apologize to Michael Burkeen, too. But Michael Burkeen does such excellent nature films that Jessica, that's how awesome that actually was, because I thought it was Michael Burkeen's.
Hi, Monkey Man. Carl said Yogi's second subscription didn't stick. Maybe that's why YouTube's having problems.
Could be. Guess who was the first person ever to put cheese on a burger? I want to shake that person's hand. That's a good question. Lena says, hi from Sweden. I read lesson 193 in A Course in Miracles today, and I feel I learned over and over from different miracles. I can only hurt myself, never be hurt by anyone else. Is this something you address in this forum? It is something that we can address in this forum. Let me bring up 193. And I will read that, and then I'd like to see what you think about that too, Kat. All things are lessons God would have me learn. It's another great daily practice. It's a practice, non-practice. Something's going to happen. Something probably happened today. Something's going to happen tomorrow that either greatly sucks or sort of sucked. Or maybe something in between. But how about if something happened and were able to repackage it with, this is a lesson that God would have me learn. And it can go deeper than that. If your boss yells at you, what's the lesson in your boss yelling at you? But here's the lesson. How did you respond inwardly? That's the lesson. The lesson isn't always in what's happening. The lesson is our response or our reaction to what's happening. And when we find, I've read this yesterday from Robert Perry to you. And when we can ask ourselves, did I respond better than I would have a year ago? We know that we are making progress along the path of Course in Miracles. We can get, if we wanted to, we could get rid of saying Course in Miracles. If you're more responsive through your meditation practice, through your practice of cultivating love, through your breath work, if you responded better to your boss yelling at you, not that your boss would ever yell at you, just using it as an example. If you responded better being a subjective term, let's say if you were more peaceful, if you were more loving, if you were more kind to yourself, as well as to others, then isn't that better? Course in Miracles just gives us a means of training the mind, but it's as made up as anything else. In the end, it comes down to being kind and forgiving. And being kind and forgiving are made up as well. They are tools to use to remember that we are love. If we were always remembering that we were love, we wouldn't need to be practicing kindness because we would be infinitely kind in every single moment. If we were truly knew ourselves as love, there would be nothing to forgive because we would see and experience only love. For me, I need to practice,
Me too.
and I love my practice because the practice is the thing. When I practice being love, guess what I am. So all things are lessons God would have me learn. Everything, life, and life's gonna give you stuff. Love yourself through it.
And sometimes the same old stuff over and over and over again until we get it.
Yep. So can we bless that stuff?
Sure.
Because it's happening over and over again for a reason. All we have to do is get it.
Hmm.
Sometimes
Then we'll be
getting
on
stuff,
to a new one.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't want to get it.
Right.
A word that's come up a couple times for me, obstinate. We can be obstinate beings to ourselves.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get it. And I don't know why this makes me think of you, Kat. And God, you can't make me. Holy Spirit, you can't make me. Not going to get it. Maybe tomorrow, but not right now. Um, so this is all through, I love this lesson that God does not know of learning. Because what would God need to learn?
Right.
God doesn't know of forgiveness because what does God have to forgive? So this is why we have what you and I call, students of the course call, the Holy Spirit. But
Hmm.
you could call it devas, elementals, earth spirits. You could call it Mother Earth, whatever you like. I always get
What?
curious. I always get
Oh,
curious when I
whatever
see
we like.
you. Um, well, when I see you with that, because I always want to know who it is that you send love to.
Jessica.
Hey, Jessica. And let's see. Did I see Selma? Selma is here.
Yes. Hi, Selma.
Jessica says, have a good night, everyone. You too, Jessica. Jessica says, I love you, Eric. I love you too, Jessica. Thank you so much. Says, I love you, Kat. Lee says, no one can ever stop learning or trying. We learn daily and forget to relearn next stage. Yeah. Sooner or later, though, we don't forget. Lena says, thank you and good night. You're welcome, my friend. That was nice. I like talking about that. I liked having a question. I want to make sure that I get over to Lena's channel and subscribe. And it's also nice to think someone in Switzerland is practicing the course.
Hmm.
So it's like we're talking more and more about practice. Stumbled upon that subject. Wasn't really planned, but
Right.
lesson 193 that our friend gave us, that all things are lessons God would have us learn. There's the practice because it's every day. And can I ask you something?
Me?
You,
Of course.
right there. How would you learn those lessons?
How would I learn them? By getting burned by them a little bit, maybe, if they hurt.
Do you think there might be an easier way?
Of course.
What if we did what you are doing so easily and naturally now?
Which
Um,
is asking for help.
and what am I supposed to learn? Because I don't want to keep stubbing my toe.
Right.
On this lesson over and over again. Because I would. I would literally take 193 seriously and literally. This is a lesson that God has me learn, and then I would drive myself crazy saying, "But I don't get it.
Right.
What is the lesson? Why does this keep happening? Why am I suffering? Why am I making myself? What have I not got?" And I would never think, "Well, teach me. Let
Right.
me know." Um, you've been a big inspiration for me to turn more and more everything over to the Holy Spirit. I thank you for that. I thank you for that every day. Um, and because I'm more obstinate than you are.
I don't think so.
I'm
But you
s-
talk about it all the time.
I do. I mean, so I am obstinate in my obstinates. That's how obstinate that I actually I actually am.
No, I mean, you talk about how we cannot do these things by ourselves. We can't forgive,
Right.
that we have to ask for help. And what the heck? Why not ask for help? What's it going to hurt? So
Sure.
easy.
And then I grit my teeth and don't ask for help. Because do you know who I am?
Who are you?
Sisyphus. I
Huh?
am tormented by the gods to push a boulder up a hill, only to have it fall back over and over again. Eternity.
Mm,
Sisyphus is all of us at one time or another.
yeah.
Um, and here's the amazing thing: uh, the philosopher Albert Camus um, reimagined Sisyphus as when he got to the top and right before that boulder rolled back down, put a smile on his face um, because he found joy in the repetition. He found joy in the endlessness of the task itself.
Hmm.
This is what he was given to do, and he did it. Um, and I like that reinterpretation of Sisyphus. I like that I don't need to. I don't need to see life as an endless toil of lessons. I can see life as a wonderful opportunity of lessons that keep presenting themselves. And if I don't get it now, um, I can ask for help now. And not just help, I can say, just, all right, I'll do it on my own. Of course, we never do it on our own. Can
Mm,
you at least show it to me? Um, and it's always available. That help and that advice and that um, openness to see is always there for every single one of us, whether you are a student of Course in Miracles, whether you are a Buddhist, whether you are a mystic, Taoist, it's always there for all of us. How did you get that, Kat? How
how did
did
I
you
get
get
what?
so open and willing to ask the Holy Spirit for help?
I don't know what happened. A switch was flipped, and it's been very recent. Good results, so I recommend A plus.
Um, hey, Reinhardt. And it says, "Oh, Camus, the myth, the Sisyphus." Um, Danny says he is Yogi Bear, talking about acupuncture. Someone says, "Deb's my boo boo bear." Danny says, "We're missing Jace here." I did talk to Jace earlier. He was heading to bed. He was already up later than he wanted to be. I'm gonna bring in one more snippet from the course, but
Hmm.
before I do so, um, and it's going to have to do with practice as well. Everything is our practice. I'm going to say, Kat, what's your spiritual practice? You could just put your arms open wide.
Everything.
Yeah, it's this. Um, and what I love, I mentioned this before, what I love about practice is you, when you're practicing, you don't necessarily have to be good at it.
Mm.
Just need to practice, but you get better at it the more you do it. So what I was going to put out uh, probably be our last thing. I'm going to, in 10 minutes, Kat, I'm kicking you out of here.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. The only person who's ever thanked me for kicking him out of now. This is one of my all-time favorite sections. I've posted it, I've pinned it. It's from the text. This little prayer. It's the function of the miracle worker in section A, paragraph 18. You can do much on behalf of your own healing and that of others. If in a situation calling for help, you think of it this way. And I'll read the prayer in a second. This is another one of those things that if we took this as the essence of our practice, it would be enough. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because He who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me. I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. What if, when you wake up tomorrow, one of the first thoughts you had was, I am here only to be truly helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And the course of your day unfolded like that. Because if you truly remember it and you truly hold it in your heart, the course of your day will unfold with that. And if you find that, I'm going to let you know when this came to me in a minute, that if you're wondering what to say and what to do, just remember who you represent. And we all know who Kat represents. Pepsi. As long as you keep that in mind, Kat, Pepsi will pave the way for you.
Yeah.
This occurred to me when you and I were asking to be shown what to say and talk about tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And that little first sentence, I'm here only to be truly helpful. Just, I absolutely love that. So in the few minutes that you have left,
Yes.
what is it, what does it mean to you to be truly helpful?
I think Josh says that's Kat. Yes, it's me. Hi, Josh. Distractions.
Hi,
To be
Medic.
truly helpful,
Hi, Mary.
I know what I want it to mean for me. I want to be available for other people.
You are.
I try to be.
I see it every single morning. Not only that, I see it every morning, and I see it here on my live stream.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Makes me wonder what being available, though, might mean. Because it doesn't mean, and I think you would tell me this, it doesn't mean offering yourself as a doormat or to be abused. It doesn't mean
Right.
not having boundaries. It doesn't mean that you give away everything you have to someone at your own expense. Sometimes to be truly helpful, it has nothing to do with advice. It's just being open and extending love. And that can come with boundaries on this form for our own safety, for our own protection, because I could see you, Kat, burning out, giving away so much love and so much love that if you didn't take time to extend that love back towards yourself, you might find in a position where you wouldn't be able to be truly helpful
Mm-hmm.
because you took yourself out of the equation.
Right. Yeah. But why do we do that? Sometimes we take ourselves out of the equation to take the focus off of ourselves, right?
right.
So we don't have to
Um,
deal with our own stuff. I just bring that up because I'm reading something Adam's writing.
let's see. I know people who see a problem with someone else and decide to fix it for them. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Uh, that's not helpful. It's I don't know. If someone asks me for help, then I make sure they know exactly what they're asking for. Then I might accommodate.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't fix somebody else.
no,
I tried
but
many
you
times.
but you can always love someone else,
Yes, exactly.
and in
Even
that
if that
space,
means loving them from afar.
exactly. And sometimes it's that openness and the love that's extended that acts as a spark towards
Mm,
them. I've seen people who keep showing up, um, and maybe not getting the specific help they need, but as they keep showing up, they stumble upon what they need.
yeah,
And there is absolutely no one who does not want to feel and experience and know that they are loved.
yeah.
Um, and you give that gift so well. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Um, Medic
You s-
says, go ahead.
you said there's nobody that doesn't want love, but I remember being at a time where I felt like that's not what I wanted. Like I would push anybody who tried to love me away.
Right. So what do you think of that?
Um, I think I never grew out of 13, but I just want people to know that, if you're not receptive, maybe it's because you just built up your walls so high.
Right. Um, One thing to remember about walls, they're illusory.
Right.
So when we find ourselves building those walls to keep love out, it's because we are existing in a state of fear and thinking that fear is the opposite of love. But as the course says at the very beginning, what is all encompassing can have no opposite. So we can believe that we're stuck in fear and that we don't deserve love and we don't not going to give love.
Hmm.
Um, but just because we believe it doesn't mean that we actually believe it. Deep down, we know.
Yeah.
And every single wall eventually comes down. Every single wall is eventually seen through as not being true. Um, that's being truly helpful. Being kind, forgiving, extending love. It's all synonymous with each other. And that is our practice. That's why we show up every day. Deb says our inner child needs to come back out for sure.
I
I
think they
find,
come out.
I tell you the truth with my inner child,
Hmm.
I blame it on raisin oatmeal cookies.
Oh,
Every
no.
I've retreated so far within that I've spent the rest of my life cooking it out with actual chocolate chip cookies.
Mm.
Have you ever been into a wonderful looking, freshly baked chocolate chip cookie, only to discover that those damn things aren't chocolate chips, they're actually raisins? The, dis- the disappointment is so bitter that it sent my
Sorry.
inner child, it sent my inner child into retreat.
Mm.
I turned to all kinds of stuff. I turned that to why I turned to alcohol cap for so many years. That that inner wound.
I think Adam wrote in there something about the lesson. I'm never upset for the reason I think I am. So there you go. Just for you,
No,
Yogi.
I was upset about those damn raisins, man. Um, Adam says I got awfully quiet when I showed up.
No.
And actually, Adam, you brought um, quite a bit
Yes.
with us.
Thank you, Adam.
Hey, a life of service. Um, UK medic.
Mm.
has demonstrated a life of service. He took, I won't go into detail, he took tragedy and turned it into the art of giving in such a beautiful, beautiful fashion. Uh, Medic is not only a channel that I love, Medic himself is just someone that I have the greatest respect and admiration for. Mary says raisins. Mary, what's your views on raisins? Chris says I want chocolate chip cookies now.
Yeah.
I almost always want chocolate chip cookies. I spend my life in deep denial of those needs. Better raisins than mushy peas. Agreed. Agreed. Skid says, but I'm scared of attachment, so I can't love deeply, or will make me panic. Well, love has absolutely nothing to do with attachment, Skits. Zero. Matter of fact, your attachment prevents you. Your attachments and your idea of attachment prevents you from loving deeply. If you give up the entire thought of attachment, you will find that all you have is love. All you have is love. Your attachments prevent that. The only thing that coincides with your attachments are your aversions. Attachments and aversions keep us chained. Medic says, well, Eric, the military either makes you or breaks you. I would agree. Knowing people quite well, military, and I've seen it on both ends. I'm glad that it actually made you medic. Hey, Toy Pups. Toy Pups says, hi, Yogi. Hi, Cat. Skits says, hashtag mushy pea for life. You know, Skits, I'm not going to believe your commitment until I see an actual tattoo that says mushy peas for life. Adam says, Yogi, I don't hate racing. Oh, I don't hate raisins, but they don't belong in cookies. I agree. And I will not eat fruit salad as if it has grapes in it.
You
Adam
go
is
too
a
far.
Adam's a man after my own heart. Without food rules, Cat, it's food chaos. You want to live in a chaotic food world where
Yes.
mushy peas are flying everywhere,
Yes.
and raisins are in cookies and grapes are in fruit salad?
I choose that.
It's madness, Cat. The Course in Miracles promise us that it's an escape from madness. We're going to be in heaven where there's no such thing as a mushy pea, and raisins are laughed at for even attempting to be in a cookie, and grapes have no place in a fruit salad.
It's not a world I want to be in.
Medic says Iraq was a picnic. I'm interested in the grape, the disturbances of grape. I've heard other people they don't like the texture of grapes. I blame someone who didn't like the texture on grapes are saying, then I'm going to turn it into a raisin. What would happen if I suck all the life out of it? And then they look at
Okay.
I told you before, a raisin is a grape zombie. It's still existing, still walking around, but it's a husk of its former self. Okay, you're 4 minutes late, but aren't you glad you hung in there for an extra 4
Yes,
minutes?
that was great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want to take off?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Kat.
Thank you. I love you. I love all of you.
I
And
love you
hi
too.
and bye.
Medic says green stuff has no business being in a decent burger bun. I don't mind a little green stuff. Medic says a raisin is a mummified grape. Exactly. Toy Pups, how are you? Guys, you are stuck with just me for, oops, I gotta take my supplement for a little bit longer. Supplement for the night. I want to give a big thank you to Kat for tonight and every single Thursday night that she has given me and given us. Kat allows me to stay on point, and she adds everything. I don't think that I would be as inspired uh, teaching this, offering this, without Kat. So I am blessed. Medic says the best thing in life is life itself. Agreed. I love that. For the remainder, we're going to go ahead and pin that. It was either pinning that comment or the grapes are raisins or mummified grapes. I had to pick which one did I want to pin. Kat says, we're doing good, Yogi. Thank you for asking. Going to sit outside for some breath work and meditation. Awesome. Flip Up says, we love you, Kat. Danny says, I'm back, Yogi. I was checking on other channels. So what other channels are out there tonight, Danny? What are we missing? Who can we visit? And what do you guys want to do for about 10 more minutes before the end of the live stream? We can start the singing weekend early. Someone wants to come up and sing a song. As mentioned before, we were inspired, all of us. If you want to bring a pet up, show us a trick, or just show off your pet. Trip Up says, smash the like button and super chat. Thank you, Trip Ups. Adam says, hello, Chris and Medic and everyone. It was weird. I couldn't see anyone else's comment. Oh, gotcha. That's why you said it got awful quiet. Gotcha, Adam. Skits is laughing, a great zombie. Hey, Adam, are you subscribed to Medic? By the way, Medic was asking if anyone would be able to give some watch hours. Easiest thing in the world to do with Medic. Put a playlist up and enjoy. Just enjoy. Beautifully edited, beautiful soundtrack, and gorgeous scenery. Mentioned before, Medic is probably the best editor in the game. Anyone have any closing questions on what we talked about? Practicing Course in Miracles? I think everyone's practice is going to look different. Don't forget cows. I can never forget cows. Thank you, Medic. Don't forget the cows. I wish I could think of a way. You know, they have screensavers. If I could have a video saver where it would just be playing continuously, you know, when it fades, when the screen fades, the Medic's cow would come up. Let's see. Adam says, I am, and I've watched some of his beautiful videos. I want to go travel Egypt with him. Brenna Boy says, did someone mention milkers? What's up, Brenna Boy? Hey, did you get the rest of your shots, Brenna Boy? Skit says, my Dr. Pepper is frozen. Medic's been to Egypt many times. Chris has been to Canada many times. I've been to Canada many times, too. I love Canada. Runner Boy says, yeah, I got 4, so now I'm all set. You getting excited? All right. Danny says, Yogi Days of May is on tonight. Chris is on the background at store. Thank you, Chris. Hey, Chris, you want to come up and sing a song tomorrow? Adam says hi to Chris. Medic says, so is a prune the daddy of a raisin? That's a good question. Skit says, Eric, what's up, Skits? Is a prune the daddy of a raisin? So a prune is a dried plum, right? So the only safe thing to eat in that family, we have two. Dates. A date isn't a disfigured fruit. A date is a date, right? A prune is was a plum that for some reason we decided to punish, to take away its plumness and turn it into a shell of its former self. We could just eat a plum, right? We could just eat a grape. We got to mess everything up. But a date is a date is a date. Now, even a dried apricot is still an apricot, unless you say apricot, and then you're just wrong. I love dates too. I have right now. I only have 2 dates because they've gotten a little expensive. 2 dates a day. And Ayurvedic, sister science of yoga. They talk about eating at least 1 date and several almonds every single day. Would you class A Course in Miracles as a kind of like a Bible theology? Nope. Or would it be like a more psychological analysis? It is its own thing, but we could call it a psychospiritual text that is a practice. Here's the thing with the Bible, and this isn't to sound as if I'm making a derogatory comment about the Bible or about Christianity or any of that, but the New Testament, we're given a set of instructions in the Sermon on the Mount, but they're not taken as a practice. They should be. We're given explicit directions on meditation. The kingdom of heaven is within. We're told how to treat people. And yet all of that is missed. And what we take out of it is go to church to have someone else tell you that if you believe like they believe, you will go to heaven, even though Jesus said nothing about that. A Course in Miracles comes in and it has more to do with yoga and Buddhism and psychology than it does about religion. And it tells you the world you see is messed up, really messed up. No one can deny it. Warfare, crime, starving children, starving people, homeless. And that's just off the surface. Political division, we can get deeper and deeper and deeper. It's a mess. Why would God create such a messed up world? Here's the answer, not just through A Course in Miracles, but through Buddhism, through yoga, through Christian Gnosticism. God didn't create that world. We could look around and say, this is a meaningless world. But then the next answer is, God did not create a meaningless world. We did, with our thoughts and our misperceptions. But guess what? We can choose otherwise. We can choose love. We can ask for help. We can say, I wish to see everything different. I wish to heal. Medic says, the weirdest is marrow fat peas. I was just reading about that a couple of days ago. The first time I ever heard of them. They dehydrate peas and then rehydrate it and makes them fatter. Interesting. That I didn't know. Forgive other sins if you act in God's will. Burner Boy, where'd that come from? Beautiful. But truly, there's no sin. There's the illusion of sin. Chris says, I wish I could tomorrow. Very busy. I can let you know when. Sorry. Anytime. It's not being here, heaven, and the gift of God's creation, and it's for us to create our own hell on earth. It's not being here, heaven, and the gift of God's creation, and it is us that create our own hell here on earth. Yes. Yes. 1,000% yes. Adam says, when Jesus healed other people, he didn't call on the name of anybody. He didn't do any kind of blood ritual or any ritual. And Christianity says, call on the name of Jesus and drink his blood. On a slightly different, a much different subject. Medic, you have never weighed in, to my knowledge, on the mushy pea debate. It says, I'm about to commit so many sins and tell everyone it's an illusion. Let me know how the illusionary jail cell, the illusionary police officer, the illusionary handcuffs, the illusionary punch in the nose. Let me know how that feels. Adam says, Skid says, don't bring mushy peas. I had to bring it in. I needed to hear from Medic. Adam says, I liked Alan Watts' talk on Christianity. Met Jesus the freak. Oh, they have sinned. They've been mushed. It wasn't the peas. Poor peas. Medic says we can do a thesis on Marifat peas. Samper says the Gnostic teachings were so enlightening, they became the #1 enemy over the Vatican. Had to be hidden. Gets us laughing with Rennerboy. Hey, Michael. That's okay, Michael. We got just a couple more minutes and then we're going to head on out. Rennerboy says Jesus turned water into mushy peas to feed the people, and the people said, nope, not going to have anything. Those are the ones that rebelled against Christianity. Fennec says just because peas are green does not mean they are stupid. So give peas a chance. I'd like to say I'd give it a try. Michael, I hope the dog sitting's going well. Skip says pain is an illusion, bro. I won't feel it. So it's actually a good point. When you truly, truly, truly see through the illusion, the only way you can ever see through it is through the lens of love. And through the lens of love, no sin, no crime, hurting anyone is an impossibility. Skip says those are the ones who rebelled against Christianity. I wouldn't become a Christian if it meant eating mushy peas. Purgatory would be a better fate. Medic says mushy peas are served mostly with fish and chips here. But you guys are like always eating fish and chips, right? Skit says comment of the evening. Hey, Duncan. Thanks for coming in, my friend. I don't think Duncan's ever weighed in on mushy peas before either. Hey, Super Champion. How are you, my friend? Runner Boy says, Skits, let's just forget that. And Adam says, I do feel the need to add that I have known some very beautiful Christian people who are very forgiving and loving despite the legalistic background in which they were indoctrinated. Myself as well. I mean, Course in Miracles is very Christian in language, and it is purported whether you want to believe it or not, to be the words of Jesus, which is pretty amazing when you consider that the vast majority, biblical scholars believe that the only section of the Bible, the only section of the New Testament actually spoken, the actual words of Jesus, were the Beatitudes. Everything else is after the fact. Everything else is, and Jesus said, and Jesus said this. But here in A Course in Miracles, you're getting the actual words of Jesus as scribed by Helen Suchman, whether you believe it or not. And you can choose not to believe it. And you, hey, Bushka. And you get, oh, hey, Buddha. So again, you can get all the benefits without ever believing the source. Of course, I got to go check out what Runner Boy says. What did I skip, Runner Boy? Let's see. Duncan says, not that big of a fan of mushy peas, but they're quite good for you. They'd be even better unmushed. Chris says, that's okay, Yogi doesn't like mushy peas, and I don't like cream corn. Man, I don't like cream corn either. Nothing should be creamed. Nothing. Zero. You know what should be creamed? Cream. Other than that, because it's Duncan, that's what I'm saying. I'm all about the health benefits. Eat your mushy peas, guys. When a boy says, I've never had mushy peas, does that mean I am a pure bean? Yes, means you're unmushed. Your soul is untainted, Runner Boy. Medic says, many were slaughtered in the name of Christianity and still are. It's all down to misrepresentation and interpretation. Adam says, agreed, Medic. Super Champion says, the philosophy of wires. We did not touch upon wires. We did touch upon grapes, raisins, mushy peas, prunes. What else? Cream corn. I don't even like saying that. Cream corn. Just, it sounds off-putting. Wonderboy says, Skits will take that comment to his grave. What did I miss? What did I miss from Skits? Danny says, Yogi, Jason's going to send you a very special delivery of mushy peas. It'll be marked return to sender. Sent right back. Or better yet, I'll send it up north, Danny. Super Champ says, Yogi, to honestly answer your question of earlier, no, I am not feeling well, very specifically mentally. I'm sorry to hear that, champion. What's going on, my friend? Corner Boy says, Yogi, did you hear about the UK just blocked basically all of 18 content? No, I didn't hear about that. But what constitutes over 18 content? The health benefit of mushy peas is to weight lift the unopened tins. They would definitely be left unopened as far as I'm concerned. You guys should repeat the missed comment. It was very funny. So what's the comment, Runner Boy? Zephyr says, Runner Boy, shame the government can't protect the children in reality, only online. That's a good point. Oh, Duncan says, oh, you're not posting your workouts. I've been doing them live lately, Duncan. So they're all there, but you got to look under the live streams. Hey, what I'll start doing, and I've been forgetting, is posted on the Kettlebells in the Basement playlist. So, yep, it's still there, Duncan. You're going pretty well, actually. Chris says that's right. Champion says, well, I'm feeling insecure about how physically weak I am in comparison to powerlifters of the world stage, and the gap feels overwhelmingly massive. Comparison's going to do that to you every single time, Runner Boy. I'm sorry, Super Champion. I'm used to talking about lifting with Runner Boy. Super Champion, every single time comparison will do that to you. What if you didn't compare yourself? This is where you are, and you're strong. How long have you been training? How long have you been lifting? And how long have you had your dreams set? And here's another thing. Every single one of the people that you're looking at and comparing yourself to were in your position. How can feeling like this serve you? Is the question. Boy says over 18 is basically what they decide is a bit silly, even Wikipedia stuff. Chris is laughing. Boy says, well, blocked, I mean, you have to upload your ID to access this stuff. It's a bit of a breach. Adam says, champ, you're pretty young, and to compare yourself to others is pointless. Agreed. Powerlifting's an art form, champion. Hey, can you imagine any of the elite powerlifters who were in your position at one time? If they said, what's the use? Look at the other people. Use them as your inspiration. This is what you're training towards. Not to compare yourself to, but to be drawn towards. Phoenix says it's all about protecting cows. We can stop stealing the calf's food, stealing from the babies. I'm all about protecting the cows. Maybe I should lead a protest. Runner Boy says, Super Champion, look at my last short. Super Champion, are you subscribed to Runner Boy? Champion says, I've been lifting for nearly 3 years and had my dreams for nearly 1 year since I started training. That's not very long. I mentioned to you before that some powerlifters don't hit their peak until they're in their late 30s or 40s. Dr. Fred Hatfield, the first person to ever squat 1,000 pounds in a competition, before there was such a thing as these big heavy squat suits, did it with leg wraps. I believe he was either 48 or in his 50s. I'll find out. I'm going to find out, and then I'm going to go to bed, guys. It's getting a little late for me. All right, he was 45. Fred Hatfield, also known as Dr. Squat, was 45 years old when he squatted 1,014 pounds in 1987. Man, 1,000-pound squat. So, hey, that certainly lets you off the hook. All right, Super Champ, I hope that works a little bit. And if you're proud of your progress, just be proud. And you have not even touched the depth. I'm telling you, powerlifting is an art form. Duncan says, "Hey, how is Sitch going?" She's doing well, Duncan. She says she's still working out. She's still doing the workouts, and she's still watching her diet. You've done so well with her, my friend. Duncan or Adam says, "Whenever I heard this guitar player is the best, it always makes me laugh because there is no best." Would agree with that. And if you want something, you push it away. If you give it a friendly hug, it will hang out with you. Border Boy says, he'll leave a follow for Super Champ. Hey, Super Champion, you will be impressed with Runner Boy. I mentioned him yesterday on my lifting live stream. There is no more precise lifter out there than Runner Boy. Duncan says, tell her, I say, keep going. We're all proud of her. I will, for sure. She tries to invoke you whenever she comes in on one of the later live streams. She says, Duncan, 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 3 times, hoping it'll make you appear. Hey, yeah, Super Champ, definitely listen to Runner Boy. All right, guys, I got to pack things up for the night. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much. All of you guys. Thank you. Duncan says that would be my ears tingling at night. That's it. Next time you feel that, come on in and say hi. Guys, love you all. Be live again tomorrow. I'll be doing a live workout tomorrow as well. So it's 4 live streams. That's a lot for you guys. So if you want, come on by. Check out the kettlebells. All right, guys. Love you. See you later.